Can you believe it's already been a year since Labo VR came out? Where does the time go? Now, we already posted an in-depth discussion earlier today in which we look back at Labo and all the games it supported, and it's a really fun one, so I would recommend checking out if you haven't already. Now, as part of it, we touched on the Labo Garage mode, in which you can make your own games, and it's a super neat thing, except for the fact there's no way to share your creations with the rest of the world, which is such a massively missed opportunity, but that's neither here nor there. Point is, it's an extremely impressive game creator, to the point that we showcased a brand new recent stage created in the game that basically replicated one of the shrines from Breath of the Wild, right down to the actual game mechanics such as magnesis. And it reminded me of the fact that there were a couple of stages I meant to showcase almost a year ago as well that I never got around to. I was feeling really bad about it because there were really cool stages and show partially what you can do in Labo VR's Garage mode. So I thought we'd take a quick look at it now, and let's start off with the one from Voxelotl here, who recreated the first stage from the arcade version of Donkey Kong. Check this out. Except, this time it's called Yeti Kong, with a Yeti model from the game itself filling in for Donkey Kong. The directions are pretty clear. Climb up to rescue the siren, to watch out for the barrels. So let's watch the video as they get started here. And there they go, climbing up the girders in the manner just like the actual arcade game. Instead of ladders, we have platforms filling in. They actually have to hold up on, which mimics the original. The barrels do seem to be teleporting between layers. I'm guessing it was some physics issue. So that's one way of just ensuring that they're constantly rolling and, are forming an obstacle for you to pass. Alright, they're almost at the top here, so let's see what happens. Oh, help me, says the siren. And we killed the Yeti, and there's my hero. What a cute little detail. So they had the siren fill in, of course, for the princess. And I love the little touch of the dialogue changing as DK goes flying off. It's a really neat game, so well done, Voxelotl. And in case you're curious how long it took them to make, they privately told me it took them about 5 hours or so. Now, as for why they decided to remake Donkey Kong, well, they wanted experience with the Labo VR Garage, but they're not expert programmers. They decided to start off with something simple, and of course Donkey Kong is one of the earlier gaming experiences. And originally they apparently wanted to model it after the arcade game by having you play with the Switch's screen in Tate mode, or vertically, but they weren't able to quite make it work, so they went back to, a standard display, but kept the idea of making it a Donkey Kong game, or a Yeti game in this case. So again, well done, Voxelotl, and thank you for showing it off for us. Next up, we have something a little bit more modern than an old school 2D side-scroller, and it took a bit longer than 5 hours to make. I present the Bob-Omb Battlefield in Labo VR Garage. This is made by Luigi86101 over on Reddit, and you can see how accurate it already is. There's a chain chomp right there with a ball that seems to track you, blocking the red coin. We can see they just took a bridge up to this little area here, and they're coming up on the cannon, which will presumably let them, launch up to the island above, the floating island above. We can see the red coins again, represented here, presumably all 8, as we take the cannon up to the floating island, and it is a warp point, so there we go. We're gonna drop off, just like you can in the game itself, although no fall damage this time, that's nice. We're gonna take a new ramp here that wasn't there before, up to the actual Bob-Omb Mountain itself as we work our way up, grabbing another red coin as it just collapses. And yeah, you can look at the detail and care that went into this. It's obviously a little bit abstract, but the visuals actually kind of work for Mario 64. It's a very primitive form of 3D. And it's kind of funny how well this design actually works and how much of the original game it kind of evokes. So here we are at the peak, a little bit smaller than the original game, but you can see the full layout here. This is extremely impressive. This is Bob-Omb Battlefield, like undeniably and recognizably. There's a gate we're just about passing by for another red coin as we cross through underneath. And I just realized we're actually collecting the red coins. So these should be the final 2. And sure enough, they were! The stage is beat. How cool is that? So yeah, that's a quick overview of their course. So fantastic job, Luigi86101. And I forget if I mentioned it earlier, but they said it took them 20 hours to make. So yeah, and again, that effort pretty clearly shines through. They said that they wanted their first VR project to be Mario, because they felt that making a platformer would be a good way to get started in VR Garage. And since Mario 64 was the very first 3D Mario game, they decided to make something from that game, and Bob-Omb Battlefield is obviously the most iconic. So, fantastic job again, Luigi86101, you truly captured the look and feel of Bob-Omb Battlefield, and the fact that you can make this stuff in Labo VR Garage blows my mind. So between Donkey Kong, Mario 64's Bob-Omb Battlefield, and that Zelda Breath of the Wild shrine, we have really 3 different eras of games represented here, and it blows my mind what we can do in Labo VR Garage. Again, like I said, it's basically a more primitive version of Dreams, which is Super cool. It just sucks that we can't share those stages. So Nintendo, please let us do this. Anyways, in the meantime, or before I wrap it up here, if you've seen any cool Labo VR creations of your own, let us know by posting in the comments below. We'd love to hear what else you've seen or created yourself even, and we may showcase more in the future. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to click the subscribe button and ring that bell if you haven't already to stay up to date on everything involving Labo VR and everything else Nintendo as well. And also, real quick, apologies to Luigi86101 as well as Boxolotl for taking a year to make this video. I really meant to showcase these earlier, but figured, you know, now's the time. It's a 1 year anniversary. Let's finally show these off. And speaking of the 1 year anniversary, make sure to check out our discussion if you haven't already on Labo VR entirely. Again, there'll be a link in the description below as well as on the screen right now, probably. Alright, everyone. Catch you later. Bye.